Today on the Shed Online, we talk to five-time Olympian and National Basketball League champion, Andrew Gaze. His career on the court spanned 20 years. He played 612 games at the top level here in Australia. We've gone one-on-one with Andrew to talk about being an Olympian, his life in sport, and life off the court. Andrew Gaze, welcome to the Shed Online.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You competed in 5 Olympic Games. What were the highlights of your Olympic experience?
How long we got here. It's always a privilege to represent your country, but to do it at the Olympic Games is something even more special. The Olympics is this amazing, unique environment where you've got the greatest athletes in the world from all the different sports coming together to share that experience, and it creates something very unique. And I had the good fortune, as you mentioned, to do it 5 times. Started in '84 and went through to 2000, and to try and pick a particular games or a particular incident that is greater than the other, you're kind of asking me, well, which one of my kids do I love the most? Because they're all so great. But having said that, I guess in Sydney, being involved in the games where you can share it more intimately with your family and friends, and you've got the support of the home nation fans behind you, probably adds just that little extra dimension to it all.
So how would you describe the feeling of representing your country, particularly in reference to being chosen as flag bearer in Sydney?
It was just an unbelievable honour, and part of the ceremonial activities of being the captain of the team was being the flag bearer. And stepping foot out in Stadium Australia, 120,000 people, and introducing the greatest athletes this country can produce to the rest of the world, and waving that flag around was truly just a remarkable honour. It's not every day you get to go to Olympics, and then it's not every day you get to go to Olympics in your home country, and then to throw in the fact that you're the captain of the team and the flag bearer just made for an unbelievable experience.
How did you prepare for Olympic competition? What kind of training regime was involved?
From a strictly an Australian team perspective in basketball, your preparation is relatively short because you know, players are sometimes playing all different countries throughout the world, or you're in different club teams, all those different factors, and then we all come together and possibly 2 or 3 months before the Olympics start, you have this intense training period as a team, as a national team, to get ready. But as far as becoming an Olympian and having the opportunity to play, that all starts at a boyhood dream when you're young, putting your head on the pillow, thinking of those amazing things you can do, and having that goal to one day represent Australia.
So what would you eat before a match?
Usually you're relying on the sports scientists these days to give you some sort of guidelines about some general food areas that you would look at. I was pretty basic. I was a pasta man, and loved I played in Italy, so I fell in love with Italian food early on. And fortunately, a lot of the pastas and that are high in carbohydrates and are reasonable foods to have prior to a game. So for me, it wasn't a massive transition from my normal dietary habits as opposed to having something specific to prepare for a game.
How many pairs of sneakers would you burn through at the Olympics?
When you're playing at the elite level, your shoes that you're playing in, last anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks. It's a real fine line with your tread and how tight they are, and they stretch and all those types of things. So at the Olympics, it was a 2-week campaign. So I had a couple of pairs of shoes. I went through 2 pairs of shoes at the Olympic Games. Now, the only reason I know that is because at the end of it, I donated them and signed them and donated them, so I didn't have a lot to give away, but that's the only reason I really remember.
Edwin Flack, Australia's first Olympian, is soon to be honoured by having a bridge near the MCG named after him. What structure would you be happy to have named after you?
I've been lucky that I've had some amazing recognition with some of the awards that have been named after me. The MVP in the NBL, which is our elite competition in Australia, is the Andrew Gaze Trophy, which is sometimes a little embarrassing, but it's a great honour. I also have, and I didn't even know this until someone told me, I have a train named after me. There's a train that runs on one of the lines here in Victoria that is an Andrew Gaze train. Now, I don't know if it's still in existence, but it was around for a while. I was also lucky because my dad's history in the game, who has been one of the more significant contributors to the sport of basketball, Lindsay Gaze. I think I sort of fly on his coattails a little bit because we both got the same surname, and I probably get more than my fair share of recognition because of some of the amazing things that he has done.
Serena Williams recently remarked at Wimbledon that she throws her runner-up trophies away. How important is winning to you?
Winning is very important, but sometimes the term winning can be subjective. I think that just because you've had a game and you've competed and the scoreboard says that you haven't thrown as many points as the opposition doesn't necessarily reflect that you haven't won. You know, you set certain standards for yourself and you have your own goals and team goals. You can tick a lot of those boxes and still come up short on the scoreboard. So, you know, I think that particularly the Olympic Games, we celebrate the best loser as such in giving them a silver medal, or the third best loser. And as I've gotten older and perhaps a little bit more objective about it all, I think even with my own kids now, I try to emphasise the fact that competition is great. Competition, when you're going out there and you have the opportunity to test yourself against another opponent, another team, all those things, it's fun, it's fantastic. It's what we do as far as judging a performance by the scoreboard that can sometimes be detrimental. And sure, you want to win, and sure, that's the objective, but it's not the only criteria for which you look at a performance and make a judgment.
Obviously, you're interested in maintaining your health. What do you do to stay healthy now that you're not playing and training each week? Since
I stopped playing, I've been able to maintain a pretty active lifestyle, and as such, you know, I think that my normal behaviour is relatively healthy, but I am extremely paranoid about my health. I'm living a dream, and I want this dream to go on as long as I possibly can. So my goal is to become very, very, very old. So in order to do that, you've got to maintain your health.
Andrew Gaze, you're a great sport. Thanks for talking to us on The Shed Online.
It's a pleasure.
Hey, now do you reckon you might show us how it's done?